This story is The Choice of Freedom. Genevieve sits alone in her grand estate, gazing out of an ornate window that overlooks her family's sprawling Victorian garden. Her engagement ring glints faintly as she absently twists it, her mind far from the looming wedding day.
Genevieve had everything, a life of privilege, wealth and tradition. But beneath the layers of silk and etiquette, she was restless, aching for something that she was told she could never have. The clock chimes, snapping her out of her reverie. With a deep breath, she heads into town, hoping to momentarily escape her cage with no way out.
Genevieve enters the quaint, bustling coffee shop, the aroma of freshly roasted beans offering her a brief moment of comfort. As she picks up her favorite blend, her gaze is caught by a radiant blonde woman walking past the shop's large window. Time seems to slow as Genevieve's breath hitches. The woman enters the shop, her confident stride leaving a wake of curiosity.
"Excuse me," she says softly, her voice trembling with unfamiliar nerves. The woman turns, her striking blue eyes meeting Genevieve's, and smiles.
"Hi, I'm Moselle."
In that moment, Genevieve's world cracked open. For the first time, she felt seen not as a wealthy bride-to-be, but as a woman longing to be free. Weeks pass, their connection growing stronger. One evening, after a shared dinner, they stroll along the moonlit beach. The sound of waves crashing mirrors the turmoil in Genevieve's heart. Moselle stops suddenly, turning to Genevieve.
"I need to say this," Moselle whispers, her voice steady but vulnerable. "I care about you, Genevieve, more than I should."
Genevieve's heart races as Moselle takes her hands. Their eyes lock, the unspoken finally surfacing. Moselle leans in, her lips soft and electric against Genevieve's. They embrace, the world fading away. Genevieve wakes the next morning to a flurry of missed calls and voicemails from Moselle. Guilt and fear grip her as she stares at her reflection in the mirror. Tears stream down her face.
"This can't happen. It's forbidden," she whispers. "I'm promised to someone else. I have to think of my family, my town, us. It's impossible."
The grand church is filled with music and murmurs of admiration as Genevieve steps onto the aisle. She is resplendent in a Victorian wedding gown, her veil covering a face etched with sorrow. Each step toward her husband-to-be feels heavier, her tears slipping silently down her cheeks. As she nears the altar, a sudden tug at her dress makes her stop. She turns slowly to see Moselle standing there, her eyes fierce and full of determination.
Moselle steps forward, lifting Genevieve's veil with delicate hands. "Come with me," Moselle whispers.
Gasps ripple through the crowd, and Genevieve hears her mother's shocked exclamation behind her. The old man grumbles, "What is this nonsense?"
Moselle grasps Genevieve's hand, kissing it gently. "You don't have to live this life. You can choose. Choose me."
Genevieve looks from Moselle to the crowd, her mind racing with the weight of tradition, family and her own heart. Finally, she whispers, "I'm sorry," to the gathered crowd.
Turning to Moselle, she squeezes her hand. Together, they run down the aisle and out into the sunlight, leaving the expectations of their world behind. Sometimes, the hardest choice is the one that sets you free. Genevieve chose love, not just for Moselle, but for herself, and in doing so, she found the courage to live her truth.